Strength is not something you lose, it is something you forget. Like a river that runs dry not because it has disappeared, but because the source that once fed it has been cut off. It is easy to believe that strength fades with time, because the body changes, the skin thins, the steps slow, and the breath shortens. But these are only signs that remind you to go deeper, not just into exercise or food, but into remembrance. You were born strong, the way a seed is born with the full blueprint of the tree inside it. That potential never leaves you. It only becomes buried, forgotten beneath layers of routine, stress, neglect, and belief. Belief is a powerful architect of the body. What you believe about yourself, you begin to embody. If you believe age means decline, the body hears it and obeys. If you believe 90 means frailty, the muscles hear it and retreat. But if you believe in the quiet intelligence of the body, if you believe in its ability to heal and grow, then something remarkable happens. The body begins to awaken. It has always been ready to respond to your care. But you must care. You must give it a reason to come alive. You must invite strength back into the system. You must re-establish the relationship. Strength does not knock on your door in your 80s or 90s unless you send it a message that says, "You are still welcome here." That message is not in words, it is in action. It is in the way you move, the way you rest, and it is especially in the way you eat. People think nutrition is about calories and macronutrients and vitamins, but that is just one layer. The deeper layer is energy. The deeper layer is attention. When you eat with awareness, when you prepare your food with intention, when you consume it with reverence rather than routine, something powerful happens. Your body remembers. It remembers how to digest not just the food, but the energy behind the food. It begins to extract life again, not just matter. And in that life, the blueprint of strength awakens. There are people who live for decades eating the same food every day. Simple food, nothing fancy, but they do it with presence. They treat their meal as medicine, and it becomes medicine. An egg is not just an egg. A bowl of rice is not just carbohydrates. A spoon of lentils is not just protein. These are vessels of energy. And if you treat them like sacred gifts rather than mechanical fuel, then the body starts to absorb them in a different way. You are not a machine, you are a system of consciousness. Everything that enters you affects you on many levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. So when you eat something with reverence, you signal to the body that it is time to regenerate, that it is safe, that it is loved, and strength responds to love. It does not respond to punishment, it does not respond to neglect, it responds to care. So if you are 70, 80, 90 and you feel your body weakening, do not say, "I am too old." Say instead, "I have forgotten the rhythm of strength." And then gently begin to remember. Begin with one thing. Begin with food, because it is something you do every day. You do not need complex routines. You do not need a shelf full of supplements. You do not need miracle formulas. You need one sacred moment each day where you feed the body with awareness. That is why I say, eat this once a day. It is not about the food itself. It is about the intention. Choose something simple, something whole, something that connects you to the earth. An egg, a handful of nuts, a cup of fermented broth, a serving of tofu or tempeh, a scoop of quinoa or millet. These are not magic, but your intention makes them powerful. Your discipline makes them medicine. Your respect makes them holy. And when you begin to eat like this, slowly, mindfully, without distraction, you begin to notice something. You begin to feel heat again in the limbs. You begin to feel energy moving in the spine. You begin to feel alertness returning to the eyes, not because you are young, but because you are awake, because you are no longer forgetting. The human body is not a linear machine that declines with time. It is cyclical, it is regenerative, it is responsive. If you fall out of rhythm, you decay, but if you return to rhythm, you recover, not instantly, but gradually, consistently. This is what we see in nature. The forest that burns can grow again. The tree that drops its leaves in winter blooms in spring. The body that weakens through neglect can strengthen again through remembrance. But it takes humility, it takes patience, It takes the willingness to say, I am not finished. Not to the world, but to yourself. You must first decide that strength is still possible, not because someone tells you so, but because something within you still wants to rise. That voice may be quiet now, you may not hear it every day, but it is there. It is always there, waiting. And that voice becomes louder when you take action. Not grand action. Small, consistent action. The first time you sit upright and breathe deeply before a meal. The first time you eat without a screen or a phone. The first time you give thanks before you begin to chew. These are small acts, but they carry great power, because they are rooted in presence. And presence is the beginning of all healing. Most people wait until they are sick to pay attention, but healing begins with prevention. It begins with respect, and respect begins with awareness. When you eat with awareness, you digest differently, your body activates different enzymes, your blood responds differently, your nervous system calms, your organs function in harmony. This is not a theory, it is a living truth that you can feel if you pay attention. So if you are aging and you feel weak, understand, it is not too late. Your body is waiting for your participation. Do not expect miracles without involvement. Do not expect strength to return if you are unwilling to return to discipline. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect made visible. It is your way of saying to the body, I value you, I will not abandon you. Every day is a chance to remember. Every bite is an opportunity to reawaken the wisdom in your cells. Every moment you spend in stillness, breathing with awareness, digesting with care, you are building the foundation of strength. Not temporary strength, but enduring, peaceful strength. The kind that remains steady, even as the world changes. The kind that does not depend on age, but on alignment. Your muscles are not gone. They are sleeping. Your vitality is not lost. It is waiting. The intelligence of your system has not vanished. It has only gone quiet, because it has not been invited to speak. Not only with physical changes, but with clarity, with balance, with peace. Because strength is not just in the arms or legs. It is in the mind. It is in the spirit. It is in your presence. The more you remember who you are, the more the body remembers what it can be. So the next time you sit down to eat, remember, this is not just a meal. This is a moment of rebirth. Choose your food not just with logic, but with intuition. Choose something living. Choose something clean. Choose something that connects you to the earth. But more importantly, choose your state of being while eating. That is the true meal. That is what rebuilds you. That is what awakens the forgotten strength within. A strong man is not the one who lifts the most weight. A strong man is the one who remembers his nature and lives in harmony with it. That is the strength that lasts beyond youth. That is the strength that does not decay with age. And that is the strength you can rebuild. One breath, one bite, one moment at a time. When most people think of eating, they think of food. They think of the dish, the recipe, the taste, the nutrients, the calories. They are concerned with what is on the plate. But in the ancient traditions, in the deep wisdom carried through time, we are taught that what is eaten is only part of the story. The greater part is how it is eaten, the ritual surrounding the act, the energy you bring into the moment, because in truth, the ritual is more powerful than the meal. A single grain of rice, eaten with full presence, digested with calm breath, and received with gratitude, can nourish the body more than a feast consumed in chaos. This is not philosophy, this is physiology. When you are in a calm state, the body opens up to receive. When you are present, the body digests efficiently, wisely, deeply. And when you honor your food, the food becomes more than sustenance. It becomes a bridge between the physical and the spiritual. It becomes a medicine that works on more than the muscles. It works on the heart. You can test this for yourself. Take 2 meals. In the first you rush, you sit slouched, you scroll on your phone, you chew quickly, barely tasting, you swallow and move on. You may eat nutritious food, but what is absorbed is only a fraction of its potential. Your mind was absent, your breath was shallow, Your nervous system was on guard. You fed the body, but you starved the spirit. You gave fuel, but you did not give energy. You did not allow healing. Now take the second meal. You prepare it slowly. You wash the vegetables with intention. You crack the egg with attention. You stir the pot like it matters. You serve it with awareness. You sit down with a straight spine. You take 3 deep breaths before you begin. You give thanks, not out of duty, but out of recognition. You chew slowly. You notice the texture, the warmth, the taste. You are there, not just in body but in mind. And in that simple act, you awaken something ancient inside you. You remind your body that it is cared for, that it is worth the effort, that it is worthy of stillness.